Hello and welcome to Heal the World show. Permilia Param here. I'm the founder and the CEO of the Healing Institute. And the Heal is being brought to you by the Healing Institute. So what is the Healing Institute? We are a virtual global hub of holistic practitioners who are waiting for you who are clients who want to stay well. So we are here with our holistic modalities ready to assist you on your health journey. And I have been on a health journey for many years, and I've used lots of holistic modalities and practitioners. And I am very proud to say that I will next week be 75, and I'm very, very healthy. So it's definitely worth your while and time to do some research for holistic practitioners and find out what their modalities are and how they can help you be well and stay well on your health journey. So we're bringing healing to the world. That's what we're doing with the Healing Institute and all our fabulous practitioners. You're going to meet two today, and the ones that are helping us assist you to increase your health, make you healthier, keep you as healthy as possible. So why is this really important? Well, to me, I had a tragedy in my life. My mom passed away when she was only 61, and it was due to complications that she'd been on medication for a very long time, and the complications of that medication actually affected her kidneys. So she died of kidney failure. She died right at Christmas time. It was December the 15th. And I was 5 months pregnant with my son. So not only is this a tragedy that she died so young, but she also wasn't able to meet her grandchildren, nor were her grandchildren able to meet her. And that, I believe, is a real family tragedy. And I don't want that happening for anybody else. So that's why it's so important for me to get this information out to the world, to everyone, so that you will know you have alternatives, you have hope. There is ways for you to consider being well. So on the Heal the World show every week, we have been, this is actually our 11th week. So we've been interviewing practitioner about their modalities, about where they are in the world, and so what the results that their clients are receiving. And I think that's really what's important, is for people to understand, if you were going to work with the practitioners, then what will the results that you'll get? And that is definitely what we want to showcase when we're doing these interviews on Heal the World. So today, I'm really, really excited to be able to welcome two of our wonderful coaches. And Adrian is from Ireland, and Jean-Luc is from Canada. And we're going to have a conversation. They're both coaches, but they do coaching in a different way. So we're going to have a conversation today about the types of coaching that they do. So first of all, Adrian, please welcome, introduce yourself, tell us just a little bit of your background, and maybe I'll get you to do that, and then we'll introduce Jean-Luc, and then we'll talk about the different kinds of coaching that you do.
Sure. Well, thanks a million, Permilia. It's great to be here again, and thank you very much for the invitation. So as you said, I'm based in Ireland. I'm just outside of Dublin in Ireland. And I've been working as a mindset coach or PGI consultant for the last 2 or 3 years.
And just to explain what a PGI consultant is, because many people don't know.
Sure. So the PGI is the Proctor Gallagher Institute. It was founded by two amazing people, Bob Proctor and Sandy Gallagher. And Bob was what I explain as sort of the granddaddy of personal development. I've been a big fan of his and listening to his teachings for a number of years. And Many people would know him perhaps from the movie The Secret. I think he is probably quite well known from that. But was studying mindset and how the mind works for 60 odd years. And it's really incredible information, and has helped me do what I do, and to get my own path. And that's really why I'm here, is now to help other people have the same sort of awakening or understanding of why they are where they are and why they could be where they want to be.
Wonderful. Fabulous. Okay, we're going to get back to talk to you in just a minute about some of your clients and how the results that they've received from working with you. So Jean-Luc, welcome. A fellow Canadian here. You are in Alberta, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So tell us just a little bit about I know we call you a transformational coach. So give us a little background.
Well, thanks, Parmelia. Yeah, so I spent 30 years of trying to fix myself. I'm French Canadian. For a Canadian, we know what that means. The bad temper, raised with a lot of men, the tough men. So the thing is, I work construction. I was construction manager. As I made a lot of money, I was able to take a lot of different modality. I've been a Reiki master a long time, the past life regression, all different meditation. And so much, I learned so much that when I went to my cancer adventure 6 years ago, I realized that everything I had learned was working. And I decided to retire from construction management and start teaching and sharing what I have. And then when COVID happened, it's like we had to switch to virtual and talk about the learning curve. And so I did a lot of personal one-on-one, but I do a lot more on the 8-week program that I have called Passionate Life. So to me, find your passion is the fuel to create the long-term vision. And from there, the 8 weeks is filled with managing your thought, power to word, affirmations, limiting belief. It's just full on 8 weeks of changing your life and creating the vision, the dreams that you want in your life.
Yes, absolutely. So very, very important. I've just had a quick look at the chat, and Barb Ashcroft, who lives here on Vancouver Island, she has made a comment that Bob Proctor's our Canadian treasure. So I know Barb has also studied under Bob Proctor. So yes, thank you very much for that, Jean-Luc. And so Adrian, let's pop back to you. And so as a mindset coach, and we were talking a bit earlier about how the Proctor Gallagher Institute, that is very much about mindset. So can you give us an example of one of your clients that you've worked with that perhaps didn't have mindset before you started working with them, and then how the results were after that?
Sure. So yeah, but what I love about the Thinking Into Results program that I go through the clients with, it's a 6-month program, and it really helps people to understand their minds. A lot of the time, but what I learned through it personally myself, and I always like to consider myself to be a product of the product, because it has helped turn my life around. The clients that I have in my mind as to somebody who I would have worked with quite recently is a local, is in the construction industry, Jean-Luc. He does a very particular part within it, and he has his own small business that he was working on. When we started working together, I wanted to get a better understanding of what his specific goals were, where did he see his business going, and why he felt that he hadn't gotten there beforehand. And he had a lot of what we would call self-limiting beliefs, all of these things that he had in his mind of reasons why he couldn't achieve what it was that he wanted to achieve. So over the course of the 6 months and through the different modules within the program, we were able to analyze those self-limiting beliefs and his paradigms that he had within his mind to then change those beliefs and change those programs into ones that allowed him to actually see the bigger pictures and to see the opportunities that were there. And as I say, I like to keep things really, really simple when I talk to my clients. It's not rocket science and it's not brain surgery. We most of us coaches who are in this space, I say the same thing, just in slightly different ways. And it's very much about just changing your perspective. Wayne Dyer was one of my favorite ones to listen to and to read to, and the quote of, when you change how you look at things, things change, is sort of the basis of how I talk to people. Is just getting them to look at things in a different way.
In a different way, yeah, absolutely.
Specifically, results with that client, over that 6-month period, he was managed to double his monthly income. He was able to look at different ways to get the business, so he was incredibly happy, and so was I for him, because his results were amazing.
Excellent. So he was able to change his thoughts, be able to overcome those limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
And the results were obviously very beneficial for him all the way around.
Correct. Yeah. So, get rid of those limiting beliefs, sort of reprogram those paradigms in his mind, and then he was able to do more business. And now he has a different approach to his business. I was talking to him the other day, and he's thinking now about selling his business and doing something bigger again. So, when he's reached the goal of what he had set for himself, now he's reaching above and beyond.
Or another goal. Yeah. Awesome. Beautiful. Fantastic. Fabulous. So just wanted to acknowledge a couple more people that are popped on today. So Ingrid is here, Ingrid McKnight. She's our virtual assistant with the Healing Institute. We're very delighted to have her here. And Cindy DeJogger, so much for popping in. Cindy's got a magazine here, an online magazine here on Vancouver Island, where I live. And of course, I mentioned Barb Ashcroft a few minutes ago. We have the lovely Leslie Flowers in the background sending me little chats. So we haven't got her, I can't see her in the green room at this point because there's 3 of us on the screen. So that's a little bit different than what we've had in the past. But thank you everyone who's here. We greatly appreciate it. So Jean-Luc, let's talk with you. Now I can kind of consider you a visionary coach. I know you've got lots in your toolbox. You're a Reiki master. You do Akashic readings. You're a past lifetime regression therapist. And so let's tell us a little bit about one of your clients that with the visionary, and which is very much like what Adrian does, but also with the transformational coaching. Give us an idea of what one of the clients you've worked with recently and the results.
Yeah, I agree with Adrian, because all the good coach had made it simple. So it can't be complicated. So my 8-week program, we do a lot of stuff. All the stuff you mentioned are not always in the program. It's kind of gifts I give when people want to go more in the spiritual realm, but it's day-to-day life, right? So yeah. One of them is Kauta. When we work together, I call her my Harry Potter, because we started working together. She had a lot of issues. There was issue with her daughter. There was issue with her husband and home and stuff. And as we start working together, we do a lot of affirmation. We do limiting belief, and we do the vision. We do find the passion, and then you start looking for your visions. And one of her vision was to sell a home she had in Europe, because her vision was to live 6 months in Canada and Toronto, where she lived, and 6 months in Europe, where her family is from. And I get a call one day, and then she's in panic. I don't know if it's good or bad. And then she says, you won't believe what happened. I just sold my home in Europe, where she's from. I said, yeah, that's great news. You don't understand, she says. I never told anyone. I just told you, and part of our program, I did the writing. And I said, yeah, well, that's how it works. Because somebody had called her sister, she's interested in the place that she wanted to sell, and it got sold. So when that happens, that just clicked in her head that she was now the creator of her life. So everything started to happen, like, her daughter's problems that got resolved, the husband, the relationship, the homes, the business just grew. And so every time I talk to her, everything she tells me she's going to do, boom, it's done. So she's my Harry Potter, because she got it. You talk to the universe, you do the intention, the emotions, and remove the limiting belief. And in 8 weeks, it can be done. And I talked to them over and over, and a lot of them want the support. So now I'm creating a 1-year program off of this. But in 8 weeks, you have enough to really jumpstart your dreams and your visions through your passion. The passion is the fuel. That's how I look at it.
Yes, and so she set the intention that that's what she wanted, even though she hadn't actually done any kind of action towards it. But just sending that intention out to the universe brought her the results before she even knew it. That I love that. I love hearing stories like that because that proves that it works. It totally, completely, absolutely works.
And when you can create that one moment of belief, then it just like boom, it's there now, right? It's like a balloon. You know, when you try to blow a balloon, it's hard, and all of a sudden it starts, then it's easy. It's the same thing, right? You just, is that going to work? Is that going to work? And all of a sudden you get this moment of pure like wow, and that's it. Now you just take off. Now you know it's going to work.
And you know, by listening to both of you gentlemen and the stories that you're telling about your clients, what comes up for me is that they got their confidence. They got their own confidence. You helped them develop or find that confidence. They probably always had it, but they just needed it to be found and nourished so that then they could believe in themselves. Would you say that, Adrian? That your clients have been able to believe in themselves?
Yeah, 100%. The image that you hold of yourself in your mind is responsible for an awful lot of the results that you get. And unfortunately, for most people as they're growing up, they get an awful lot of negative. They allow a lot of negative thoughts to go into their subconscious mind and help form that image within their subconscious mind of that they're not capable. And that they don't have the ability to do it, when the truth is the exact opposite. And so trying to help somebody change that point of view that they have of themselves, that mental image that they have of themselves, because can't remember who said it, but we've got two images. One is the image of how we physically appear to people in the physical world, and the other one is the image that we hold of ourselves in our mind. And that's the one that's right down in our core. And that's the one that determines and where those self-limiting beliefs come from. So yeah, the key to changing everything is changing that image that you have of yourself.
In your own mind. Yeah, absolutely. So Jean-Luc, from a visionary transformational coach point of view, that seems to be also what you do with your clients, is help them change that thought pattern of what they think they were or what they think they can't do to what they can do.
Yeah, a lot of limiting belief, like, you know, you have to remove, where, like, say, for example, I grew up with money's bad, because all the people with a lot of money, they were abusing people with no money and stuff. So you have to remove that and put it that money is good, money is freedom, or it's a lot of work. But the biggest thing is a lot of people are ready, but they don't have the tool. Like if you watch The Secret, they tell you, oh, everything's possible, it's beautiful, but they don't give you any tools. And the people are ready, but they don't know where to start. So you come in with tools to make it happen and have a process that is simple, build on block, and then you don't have to carry a big book of like instruction. It's just step by step, and it becomes your life. They just go for it. It's just like easy and step by step. So it's like you're giving a full toolbox to build this dream, right? It's like building a house. I give you a big blueprint, but I give you one hammer. It doesn't go very far.
I love your construction background metaphors. Yes, they're very, very appropriate for sure. And I totally understand the whole concept of how we're raised. I was raised by, well, obviously my parents, but my grandmother, who I'm named after, who had a huge influence on me. And one of her beliefs that I was growing up with was that you don't want to be too wealthy because you don't want money, because in her opinion, wealthy people were greedy. So that was her experience. Now she grew up through the Depression. She grew, my grandfather went to World War I. Her, my uncles ended up going to fight in the World War II. So where she came up with this, or how this manifested for her, I don't know. It was a belief that's raised with. And then I get to my adulthood and I'm like, oh, well, I'm eating all these absolutely amazing money. So obviously that isn't a belief that was true for me. So that was definitely a belief that I had to realign and incorporate a new belief, which was that why not be wealthy? Because then you can be generous and give it away and help other people.
Yeah, and that's why when you look at passion, they all come out, all these things, because you don't know how much you're affected by your ancestors, from parents to grandparents. And I knew my great grandparents, so they affect you in many ways. And that's where we have to pull out, right? Because they do affect you without you even knowing, because it was put in your head when you were very young and you never dealt with it because it's in your subconscious, but it's not, you're not aware that it's there. And that's very important to deal with that also.
And you know, all three of us, both you gentlemen and myself, the work that we do, we work with our clients and their subconscious. So we realize how important and how powerful the subconscious is in determining who we are and the life that we're leading. So we definitely want to be able to explore what's going on there. And if we have to make adjustments to it, we need to help our clients do that. So I'm just going to check with the chat to see if we have any more questions here.
Can I tell a funny story from Allaire?
Yes, please do.
It's just when Jean-Luc mentioned the things happening when you're a child and those things staying with you for your entire life. I don't remember where I heard this, but I thought it was a fantastic story to sort of say what a paradigm is. So a man and a woman are in the kitchen, and the woman is cooking a leg of lamb, and she goes and she gets the leg of lamb and she cuts the end off the bone, the leg bit off the end of the leg of lamb, and she puts it in the oven. And the husband goes, you know, I've watched you do that a couple of times. Why do you cut the end off the leg of lamb? And she goes, you know what? I don't know. My mother always did it like that. She goes, well, you know, your mom is just down the road. Would you mind asking her? And she goes, okay. She asked the mom, Mom, you know, when we cook a leg of lamb and we cut the end off it, why do we do that? And she goes, well, I don't really know either. So my mother used to do it. And you know, thankfully the grandmother was still alive, or the next generation. You go, okay, well, can you ask and see why? And she goes, well, and it turned out that when they asked the grandmother, it was like, well, when I started cooking lamb, I had a small oven, and it was the only way I could get the lamb to fit in the oven was to cut that bit off. And then, you know, she kept doing that. So this sort of thing that was obviously necessary at the time has permeated through 3 generations. Yeah. And without anybody thinking about it or anybody questioning it. And I suppose that's a lot of what Jean-Luc, myself, yourself, Brimley do, is we get people to ask the question, you know, why do I do it this way? You know, or why am I getting these results that I'm
exactly
not? And I
I
don't know where
that's a great story. I've heard it as well. And it's so true that we just kind of carry on and do things and then we don't question. So one of my advice always is to be curious, because yes, if you want different results, you've got to change your belief. So be curious. If something's not quite fitting for you, or you know, you're thinking, hey, why do I have this? Why am I thinking this thought? Especially if it's holding you back, you want to really be curious and you want to ask those questions. So we're getting to the end of the hour, and I checked with the chat. We've got just a few people still there, which we're grateful for. And I know that for the people who popped on and are listening to the show today, we're going to offer them something. Now, Adrian, you're going to offer them your complimentary consultation. Can you just give them briefly an idea what they would get with that?
So we do a one-on-one chat. Given how everybody is spread all around the world, generally speaking, it's via Zoom or something like that. Normally lasts around about a half an hour. And what we try to do within that time period is, obviously, I get to know the person a little bit better. And we dive into what it is that they're aiming for, what it is that they want. Because at the end of the day, for me, that's what it's all about, is Tell me what you want, yeah, and then we'll figure out how to get it for you. And so that's what it really is, boiling down the person's wants, yeah, and then we'll figure out how to get their mindset in the right place to get it.
Fabulous, beautiful, thank you. And Jean-Luc, you've got an ebook that you're going to offer. Can you just give us a brief idea about the ebook and what?
So the ebook is just the beginning for managing your thoughts and power to word. So it's very interesting. It's a short book, I think 20 pages, but at the end there's 10 things to do to keep your mind positive. It's a nice little ebook. And also I got a 30-minute call if you want to ask questions or just see what I do and see if I can help with anything. So we just got, I put in my link in the private chats. I don't know how you changed that, but so there's the book and then a 30-minute conversation to see if anywhere I can help, or just, I like to just give you a nugget and have a chat. I love chatting with people.
Perfect. Okay, so I've just sent those all off to Leslie because she's in the back, still in the back room helping us out. And we're just putting in on the ticker tape. That's one way. We will also go back in and answer any questions that you might have and make comments, because in 30 minutes, we don't have a lot of time to go in and talk and make comments with people that are in the chat. So now your connections are in the chat, and we'll also put in your offerings, which we greatly appreciate. So thank you so much, both to Jean-Luc and to Adrian, for popping on today and talking a little bit more about who they are, what they do, the fantastic coaching that they do that can really assist our clients. So please connect with them. And, we have a big ask. But we're up for it. We are asking, our ask is to heal the world. And that's what we're doing. We're healing the world with these amazing coaches and practitioners. And everybody, you got to meet two today, Adrian, Treacy from Ireland, and Jean-Luc Allaire from Canada. So thank you both very much for being here. And also thank you to everyone who joined us today.
Thank you very much, Pamela. Have a great day.